They're gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make a citizen.
Welcome to the Basement, episode 3. Now, today, I actually have Sarah and Allie back with me, and we are going to be talking about some of the things that happen at our sleepovers that we have been having since
9th grade.
About 9th grade.
That's 2005.
I thought it was it 2005? I can't do math, so I'll rely on her. Allie, would you like to start us off?
Well, when I think of our sleepovers, I think of the true beginning, which was the one for Olivia, because she was switching schools at the end of 9th grade, and when I think of that one, the most prominent thing that comes to mind is the Skittle War.
The great Skittle War of 2005.
You might ask, what is this and why did it happen? Well, there is no good reason for why it happened. We got a lot of Skittles because we do Olivia Loves Skittles, and this party was really for her. And so we have this giant-ass bowl of Skittles. And then, I don't even know who started, but someone threw a Skittle at someone, and someone threw a Skittle at someone else.
It was me and our friend Diane, who doesn't talk to us anymore. We were throwing Skittles at... No, we were throwing Skittles at Diane. She was jumping around the room with, like, her feet together or something. I think she had, like, a string around her feet or something, and she was jumping around. And me and Sarah were sitting there throwing Skittles at her. And she was like, "Are you trying to knock me over?" And we were like, "Yes, with candy." And then...
I guess I joined in, and she must have joined in, and Skittles flying everywhere.
We were taking fistfuls of Skittles out of the bowl and just hurling them around the room. Have you found any recently?
No, I think about 2 or 3 years ago I finally stopped finding them.
Yeah, we were finding Skittles every single time we went to her
Probably
house.
throughout the rest of high school. I mean, we tried to vacuum them all up, because obviously my parents would have gone crazy.
And then the vacuum was full of rainbow Skittles.
Yep.
And
made a cheeking sound as you vacuumed.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, good time.
One of the other most memorable things from our sleepovers, and there are many, many things that I remember from these, is the Moonshoe incident.
The Moonshoe incident.
Well, Allie and her brother have 2 individual pairs of Moonshoes. You know, those things from the 90s that are made of bungee cords and plastic, and you strap them to your feet and jump around. Yeah, very, very hazardous toys.
There was a reason they were in the downstairs.
And so, like, Allie went upstairs and left me and Sarah and Diane, and she said, "Don't play with the Moonshoes," because she knew me and Sarah wanted to play with them. And of course the first thing Sarah and I do is grab the Moonshoes and strap them to our feet. The problem is we're not the weight of 6-year-olds, so we were jumping around and it was really fun, but it was hard to keep our balance because it's not meant for us. We were like 16 at the time. And so Sarah almost fell over, but Diane caught her. But there was no one there to catch me. So I ended up jumping, flying sideways, and landing on my stomach and, like, hitting my tailbone on the fireplace on the way down. So, and I was lying on the floor, and it hurt. So I'm laying there clutching my tailbone, and I'm, like, half laughing and half, like, swearing because it hurt. And, of course, they just took a picture of me and stuck it on Facebook instead.
And Olivia's in pain, and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, what the hell happened, guys? I was gone for, like, 2 minutes.
Sarah and I happened. Most of these things that we're going to talk about are Sarah and I dicking around and being problematic, I guess.
One of the reasons I'm not usually involved is because I was asleep.
Allie falls asleep really early. So Sarah and I would, like, be awake at, like, 4 in the morning, and we'd be like, "Hey, do you think this is a good idea?" And then we'd look over at Allie, and she'd be asleep, and we'd be like, "Yeah, let's go for it." So, what else? Oh, there was that time we drew on your face, but we didn't actually want to draw on your face.
So you take
So we
Band-Aids?
taped Band-Aids to you? Yeah. Sarah, Diane, and I decided we wanted, like, Allie was dreaming, and we wanted to mess with her. So first we were just talking to her to change her dream, and we told her that, like, walking trees and Santa Claus were chasing her, and she started to run in her sleep. So that was pretty hysterical. And then we said, let's draw on her face. But we didn't actually want to draw on her face because we knew that she'd be pissed at us. So what we did was we found a box of Band-Aids, stuck them to her face while she was asleep, and we gave her like a unibrow and a Hitler stash and like weird eyelash extensions, and I don't remember what else we did to her. And then we drew with markers on the Band-Aids instead, and stuck a bottle of sparkling grape juice like under her arm so it looked like she was sleeping with a booze bottle. Took a picture of her. She was very confused when she woke up.
Oh yeah.
Sarah, would you like to share something?
I don't know. We ate a whole cake.
we had an M&M ice cream cake, and we sort of ate the whole thing.
It was about this big, guys.
Yeah, it was a really big freaking cake.
And there was only like 4 of us, and honestly, I think it was mostly Olivia and Sarah that finished that puppy off.
Yeah, well, Allie was asleep, and so like we stuck candles in his face and lit the M&M on fire. Stop. And
wasn't it someone's birthday?
It was. Whose birthday was it?
Sarah?
It might have been Sarah's. It was fairly warm weather.
Was it mine,
maybe? Maybe it was Diane's. I don't know. It was one of our birthdays.
I have no idea.
It might have been you because the M&M was an ice cream.
I don't remember.
But it was one of our birthdays, and it was me and Sarah and Diane, and we just ate the whole cake because Allie fell asleep. I don't know why we waited that long to do the cake.
No, we had eaten the cake beforehand. You just felt like lighting it on fire again.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. That was at like 4 in the morning. We were lighting things on fire. Sarah and I kind of have a tendency to light stuff on fire when Allie leaves us alone. So she hides the lighters and the matches from us now. Like we're children, which you probably should. But yeah, so the cake happened. What else? Speaking of lighting things on fire, we almost burned Allie's house down.
Several times.
More than once.
First time, we wanted to burn things, so we took a plastic bowl, because obviously that's a great idea, and then we took, some paper and some matches, and we, put it in the bowl and, watched the fire. We forgot to take into account that this was very thin plastic, and the fire got to the point where it's burning so much the plastic actually started melting. And this was outside.
You realize we've done this more than once with the plastic bowl because we don't learn from our mistakes, apparently.
We did. You mean you did this again? I wasn't there for the second one.
You were there.
I wasn't there for the second one.
You totally were. You were. You were burning the pizza box right along with us. We were burning chunks of pizza box the second time because it makes pretty colors when the ink catches on fire. And then when it started to melt the bowl and we realized that burning it in a plastic bowl for the second time was probably not the smartest plan because it doesn't stop the fire, it makes it worse. Pro tip. You and Diane, we sent Diane inside to get water, and you were inside for some
No, that was
reason.
the first time.
That was the second time.
Then when was the first time?
The first time we were all just standing outside on your patio burning paper, but we weren't next to the door. The second time when we were burning the pizza box, It definitely did. We used Tupperware, so it took longer. Because the second time we used, that red Chinette stuff.
No, the second time we used a thinner version of the plastic. I remember that bowl.
What?
It was like a purplish or yellow,
it's
very
not the point! The point is both times the bowl melted. Was it blue?
Yeah.
Do you remember the two melting bowls? Because I don't. I remember one.
I remember 2 melting bowls.
I just remember, I don't know, bowls.
Anyway, the point is we melted stuff.
You're
and and it wasn't smart because we didn't have a contingency plan for continuing the fire. And we finally got the hose working, and we put it out that way, but Diane had already gone in for a cup of water. And when
Stop
she
letting her lick you. We're trying to teach her not to lick humans.
And then when Diane came out with her cup of water, which was no longer needed, she poured it on the bowl anyway, you know, just so she felt useful.
Sarah and I had already put the fire out with the hose, and the second we had it out, Diane comes rushing through the door and flings the cup of water onto the already out fire. The comedic timing could not have been, like, filmed in a Hollywood movie better than that. It was beautiful, but it was also completely stupid. So Sarah and I are not necessarily allowed to play with matches anymore. But Sarah and I are not allowed to be left alone anymore, most of the time. Even though Allie leaves us alone all the time.
I do what I can.
Other things.
We'll talk about the whole you leaving when I was sleeping thing.
Oh, yeah! So, this was at the first sleepover, too.
Mm-hmm.
This was the very first sleepover we had at Allie's house, and at 5 in the morning, Sarah, Diane, and I were still awake. And so we said, hey, the sun's coming up. Well, I said the sun was coming up. And I was like, hey, what if we go watch the sunrise? Allie was completely out cold at this point. And so Sarah and Diane were like, yeah, let's do it. And we were completely, like, sugar high, out of our minds. Like, sugar... Like, it was almost like we had been drinking, except that we were just hyper on sugar. So we all go out the back door, and we're just messing around in Allie's back... Whoa. What? What?
She can't get off.
What? Go. Go out the dog door. No.
There she goes.
Okay. Sorry. And patrolling, apparently. Tell Slenderman to fuck off. And, where was I? So we're messing around in Allie's backyard, and we're laughing at bushes and grass. We thought grass was like the funniest word in the entire universe for some reason. And then Diane wandered off further into Allie's backyard and comes back with a little plastic domino, about that big. And she's like, why are there dominoes in Allie's backyard? And none of us could figure out a logical explanation. And we just kind of fell over laughing about it for about 10 minutes. So then we said, okay, let's go watch the sunrise, and we finally remembered why we were outside. Because I'm pretty sure we kind of forgot for a bit. And so we go wandering down Alley Street. We'd never been to this neighborhood before. And so if we had gone too far, we probably couldn't have gotten ourselves back. But we wander down the street, and someone's sprinklers come on, and we just start laughing again. Like, it was, oh my god, I don't know what was fucking wrong with us in middle school, but we were...
It was high school.
Was it high school?
It was high school. Freshman year.
We were the weirdest motherfucking high schoolers. What was wrong with us?
I don't know. I think we were pretty normal.
We wandered off, and we were laughing at sprinklers, and then we suddenly realized, like 2 streets away from Allie's house, oh wait, we left Allie asleep. She doesn't know we left. So if she wakes up and we're not there, she's going to, like, lose her crap. So we kind of had to hightail it back to Allie's house. She was still asleep when we got there, and she didn't even know we had left until we told her after she woke up. And then she wasn't very happy with that. Oh god. That's one of my favorite memories of your house, though.
Leaving me?
Leaving and just, like, derping around your neighborhood with no real goal or sense at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. One of many of my favorite memories. I have a lot of them.
Yeah. One of my funny memories, this happened almost every sleepover actually, is, you know, we always would have a plan to watch 2 or 3 movies, and I would usually fall asleep after the first or halfway through the second one. And then they'd have to wake me up because they could never work my TV because it is so freaking complicated.
She has like 6 remotes. And they all do different things, and I don't know what any of them actually do.
So they'd always be like, you know, can you turn off the TV or the movie? And several times I would be too, like, asleep to really figure out what to do, so I would just turn down the volume. and they would just kind of accept that as, like, good enough.
Occasionally, sometimes we would whine at you because it'd be, like, on, like, the static screen or something, and it would be really obnoxious, and we wanted to actually sleep. Or we wanted you to put in different movies.
I remember that too. You're like, put in this movie. I'm like, and you're like, change disc, and I'm like, this is.
Yeah. So Allie would like barely wake up, like shove the disc in, and then just go back to sleep, and we just watch the movie. Speaking of movies, though,
yeah,
I think we should talk about the Batman drinking game, because that whole week was like one big ass sleepover. That was a great week at the beach.
Yeah, this was after we graduated high school, so this would have been 2009.
This is the same beach trip where we got locked in a graveyard.
Fun stuff.
We had a lot of fun things happen on this trip.
But you know, this was at Sarah's grandparents' beach house. And we decided to play a Batman drinking game. And at this point, we couldn't actually
none
drink.
None of us were legal at this point.
We didn't actually want to drink. So we played with Fruit Fun.
We played with Hawaiian Punch.
Bad idea.
While we were out shopping, we all bought shot glasses, like souvenir shot glasses. Mine's a pirate one. I don't remember what you guys.
I don't know what Diane's was.
I don't know
little turtles.
All the turtles. I don't know what Diane's was either. Can't remember. Anyway, so we decided let's get 2 of the gallon jugs of Hawaiian Punch, the red color, and we will go home. We were going to watch The Dark Knight. So we said, let's pick a word in the movie, and every time they say it, we'll take a shot of
Guess
Hawaiian
what word
Punch.
we chose?
Guess which word we chose. We chose
Batman.
Yeah. We ran out of Hawaiian Punch before the end of the movie. Because, like, we would have a long period of time.
Yeah, there would always be a lull, and then Batman, 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 Batman. Within like 20 seconds, like we had to pause so we could take the shot and then play, and then pause. Like, it was crazy.
The fucking Joker would say it like 10 times in a row, and then we'd just be like, well, we ran out before the end of the movie. But for the record, they say it 34 times in that movie, so I'm really glad we weren't playing with alcohol, or we would all be dead. We've since played that game with Mulan and the word Huns. We used Alice in Wonderland and the word cat, and they say it more than we thought. And we used Harvey Dent in Dark Knight again. And then we used Harry Potter, and that was a bad idea.
That was hilarious. I think we changed it because it was just too much.
We changed it to something else. What did we change it to? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
I thought we used rabbit in Alice in Wonderland.
We used cat, but I think we changed it to rabbit.
Maybe you did both.
We may have. I think we did both. Yeah, I think we had 2 words. Yeah, we've done this game with Hawaiian Punch, apple juice, ginger ale, sparkling grape juice, sparkling cider. That's pretty much all the things. Don't mix ginger ale, sparkling cider, and apple juice when you're doing that game. You will have a very difficult night indeed.
Your stomach hurts.
It wasn't so much of my stomach hurt. It's just that we all got so loopy we couldn't remember anything.
Well,
we only remember fragments of that sleepover. Like, I remember...
Was that the bucket argument sleepover?
That's the bucket argument sleepover.
That is when there was like this square Tupperware thing, but it was pretty tall. And so I think Olivia and I contended that it was a bucket because you put it on her head. And Sarah was adamantly against it being called a bucket.
I put it on my head before we spilled a bunch of sticky crap in it. Because we were using it because we knew we were going to like be giggling and stuff and start spilling it like all over the place.
Which was very true.
Which was extremely true because none of us can fill shots properly.
Oh, was this the New Year's sleepover?
This is one of our New Year's.
This was the one where Sarah was determined not to get her picture taken, so she was flipping me off at every single picture.
We have photos of that.
There was over 20.
On Facebook. Good times. But that was also the sleepover where Sarah and I went to bed at like 7:30 in the morning. You passed out on the floor.
That was also the sleepover where, did your mom say, now when Allie falls asleep, you guys have to go to sleep too?
She says that every single time, and we never do. But I just tell her that to make her feel better about the fact that I'm an insomniac. But no, that was the night that me and Sarah went to bed at 7:30, and we're laying awake giggling to ourselves about and talking about reverse Santa Clauses. Sarah does not remember this conversation at all. And you remember parts of that sleepover that I don't remember.
Like
and I
what?
remember shit that none of you remember. I don't know, just like bits and pieces. Together, all our bits and pieces of that sleepover come together to make a full memory.
Devil's food cake that was amazing.
You did. We had a lot of cake. I remember pizza. I don't remember much of that sleepover.
I don't remember pizza.
I remember I gave you the quote book because I could no longer write.
Right, and
then your handwriting
was
looked like
so
a drunk.
bad.
It looked like a drunk
And I wasn't.
six-year-old.
I can't write when I'm tired. Apparently, guys, don't let me.
When you're tired and hyped up on sugar, apparently, because you just like
No.
I looked at it in the morning and I went, Allie, what is this? It was just unintelligible scribbling, and I was like, I'm gonna have to rewrite these if I can fucking figure out what they say. You did eventually rewrite them, but it was pretty bad. I'm trying to think of like other major incidences with this. There have been so many that all the sleepovers kind of blur into one giant sleepover.
We'll have to do sleepovers part 2 sometime.
Yeah, we will. Oh yeah. At my house, we had these big leather chairs on my 3rd floor. And we were like, well, okay, there's one sofa and then there's all these chairs. So, and there are like 3, were there 3? There were 4 of us still.
There's still 4 of us.
And there are 4 of us. So either 2 people can sleep on the sofa, but that still leaves 2 people, where are they going to sleep? So what we decided is we would push the 2 sets of 2 leather chairs together, and I called it the boat, because it looks like a boat, because the arms come together and then the backs are like really tall and it's brown. So now, whenever we have sleepovers over here at my house, we are like, well, you can sleep in a boat. Sarah adamantly refuses to sleep in the boat.
I refuse to sleep in the boat.
Allie also sleeps.
I usually could get the couch.
Well, sometimes Sarah got the couch. Sarah would usually end up sleeping between like the coffee table and the couch on the floor in a pile of pillows.
That happened to me a couple times.
Diane slept in the boat, and I slept in a boat. And I was actually okay, but I can sleep in really weird places and be okay, usually.
Yeah, at my house you've slept in one of the big poofy chairs.
I slept in that big circular chair you have. It was the most uncomfortable sleep I've ever had.
I offered other solutions. You're like, nah, the chair's are
Well, I'm lazy, so I just was like, whatever, I'm only staying here for a night. It wasn't actually the most uncomfortable sleep I've ever had, because that honor still goes to First Ascent. But I was sleeping on the fucking ground on a tarp in a sleeping bag when I was covered in bruises, so no, First Ascent still gets the most uncomfortable sleeps I've ever had award. But that was not ideal. I like sleeping in that recliner that one time we had a sleepover, though. The one in your basement.
Oh.
Yeah, I slept in that recliner once.
Didn't know we had a recliner at that point.
No, this was recent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was like, well, I think this might have been New Year's or something. I slept in that recliner.
Cool.
Your phone is freaking me out. Like, I'm so terrified that I'm going to look up and someone's like going to be outside the screen.
Oh my god, really?
I'm paranoid.
Okay, so we're getting tired and distracted,
Anyways.
so we're going to wrap this up.
I guess. I hate to do just 3 parts strung together. I really do.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
We're out of stuff.
I wouldn't say that necessarily.
Okay, go.
You know. I'm trying to think. What else have we done? Oh, yeah. Retarded foosball.
Okay, so there was foosball.
That was great. That was so fun. Because at one of our sleepovers, which one was that? Was that the first one?
I think it was the first one.
This might have been at the first sleepover we ever had. We got really hyped up, and we started blasting My Chemical Romance, and like Allie has a foosball table in her basement, so it was like Allie and Diane versus me and Sarah, and we got to a point where instead of playing properly, we were like shaking and tilting the table off its leg. I'm surprised we didn't break the damn thing.
No, well, the problem was it was already broken, because if you scored on one side, it wouldn't give you the ball unless you tilted the table back. So that's why we had to keep doing that.
But then we just decided to play that way.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We were playing with the ball on the field, and we were just rocking the foosball table back and forth between us. Because I guess... No, we were. I remember that distinctly, because it was insane.
Okay.
We were just tilting the foosball table back and forth like a bunch of idiots.
Okay.
It wasn't just that the thing wouldn't give you the ball back. We just decided to play that way because we thought it was funny. I am really surprised we didn't break the legs off of it. Yeah, it is. So, because all of us are getting a little tired and loopy...
And we want to watch SpongeBob.
Well, shoot, yeah, we do. Mostly because we were quoting it earlier. And Sarah's trying to read for homework. So, we're going to conclude a very haphazard episode of The Basement.
Our episodes are always haphazard.
Not as haphazard as this. Dude, we looked fucking pro in the first one with the Christmas tree set up, and it was all nice, and we had fancy chairs and shit. Like, this looks ghetto by comparison. Even though the porch is actually really nice. But... Anyway,
Signing out.
I'm going to try and record over Easter, but... you can hope for that. I don't know if it'll happen. I swear to God I'm going to try. Over the summer, we'll be able to do a lot more of these.
In theory.
Well, I mean, we'll be home for 4 months, so...
Not when you're at summer school.
Well, that's only 5 weeks, and I may not even go. I don't know what's happening during my summer. But that's not the point. So, during Easter, I'm going to try and get these two together, or at least one of them with me to do an episode. And for now, you can just settle for this semi-piece of shit episode. Because we're all tired and distracted, and I have to drive back to school tomorrow. But until then, I will see you later.
Well, they encourage your complete cooperation. Send your roses when they think you need to smile. I can't control myself because I don't know how. When they love me for it, honestly, I'll be here for a while. So give them blood, gallons of the stuff. Give them all that they can drink, and it will never be enough. So give them blood.